Hello, welcome. My name is Zen Lennon, and you are listening to the Sales Training for Beginners series. All right, last video, I talked about value. What is value? And it's a word that gets thrown around a lot when people want to make a point. But today I want to be actionable. I want to be intentional. And so I want to give you the exact things to do in order to give value. Value is something that you could provide to anyone, right? Your boss, your colleagues, your friend, your LinkedIn network, your husband, your wife, your lover, your kid, anybody that you meet, you can provide value. But what is value? We've covered it. If you don't know what it is, watch this, okay? Watch this. This is how you become a valuable human being, a valuable citizen of the United States of the world. Number one, this sounds generic, but it's actually very helpful if you do it right. Underrated activity on LinkedIn is to comment. It is so easy. You don't even have to post, because if you comment and you add value to someone else's post, their audience will see your value. And I myself get more followers that way than actually posting on LinkedIn. I get more people DMing me and liking my post and engaging with me when I engage with other people's posts. And so today, a lot of people will like. It's probably because, or they're just lurking, observing, they're just creeping. And it's fine. I'm a creeper too. Like, I love to observe. I love to learn. I love to watch. I don't actually act on things until I know what I'm getting myself into. However, the quickest way for you to get more followers, the quickest way for you to increase your reach is by commenting on other people's posts, because it's a way for you to rent their community. Rent because you still have to work hard in building those relationships. You still need to provide more value. You can't just provide value once and then disappear. Don't post and ghost. Make sure you keep doing it. You're consistent. And then people will just start to gravitate towards you naturally. Number two. Write a blog post about other people's method. Like, you don't have to be an expert, right? You don't have to be the PhD guy or the lawyer or the Stanford or the person that's had 10 years or 20 years of experience. You can be a new person, a new professional. You could just be hired as a new BDR or associate SDR, but you can also be a thought leader by curating other people's information and putting that into a nice post or a nice blog article. Yeah, that's right. A lot of people do this. I do this. I do this today because I am not an expert in building an Apple or building an Amazon or building a Tesla. So guess what? I am gonna take some of their wisdom and I'm gonna curate it. I'm gonna combine it with the things that I do know. And that is the quickest way for you to add value, even if you don't have the expertise. You can curate knowledge and then make it your own. Number three, this one I do all the time, and I think a lot of people have their own opinions. Give tips. Give actionable tips that are doable, that we can execute, right? Easy tips, for instance, downloading Headspace, downloading Grammarly. If you have bad grammar, use Grammarly. If you are unfocused, you get distracted, use Headspace, and here's why. So that's such an easy way to provide value, because if you experience a problem yourself, which chances are you're probably experiencing some kind of struggle, how do you solve it? Right? So that's how you provide value to other people that are not yet where you are. Because if this was a timeline, right? And your friends, you have maybe a reach of 100 friends. And out of those 100 friends, maybe you're close to 5 of them. 5 of them, not all of them will be at the same level you are. You're going to know things that they don't. Chances are you're probably already teaching them. And that's exactly what this is about. To provide value, you teach yourself first, right? You learn from others, And then at the same time, same token, you take the things that you learn and you document and post it in a video, and then you share it to the people who are behind you. Value, right? So much value. You write and you help and you provide those tips that are actionable, things that they can do. For instance, I'll give you a tip right now. This house right here, truth be told, I had, before we moved here, my credit score was around 500. I kid you not. Like, I had no financial education. I had to teach myself. I didn't really care about it. I was just one of those who made a lot of money because of the tech, and I just spent it. I splurged it. Okay. But moving out here, I learned how to manage my money, and I learned how to take care of it and invest it. And I learned how to not use my credit card because it's not my money. My credit card is always at a zero, right? So tip number one. If you're going to buy a house, example, make sure you don't have debt anywhere else. So keep your credit cards to a zero. That's your number one priority if you have debt, because the banks are taking money away from you. Disclosure, I am not a financial expert. This is just one tip that I used that you should do as well if you have credit debt, because banks are making money off you and you're making them rich. So get rid of all the debt. So another way to provide value. So that was off topic. It's just a way for me to show you that I'm giving you a tip on what I did in order to get my credit from 500 now to 780, close to 800. And all of that is because I don't use credit cards anymore. I basically, if I'm going to use a credit card, I pay it down to zero every single month. I always have a zero balance. So everything I spend, I make sure I have the means for it. Another way to provide value is to make introductions. It's so simple to make introductions. Like, you could do this with a VC, an angel, a friend, a referral, a potential prospect, a partner, a job. I'll give you a secret on how I became like the number one salesperson at Yelp so quickly. And this secret, I don't think I ever shared it with anyone else. Back at Yelp, I used to make 150 calls a day. I couldn't understand, why it was so hard. But once I figured this out, this one trick, I was on a roll. I just kept closing. And it was so simple. I basically I made friends with people to a point where I gave them secrets. So I would always teach them things that they did not know, or I would provide value outside of scope. An example of that would be, hey, business owner, Yelp is a way for you to connect with more business, like foot traffic. The business owner would be like, I don't have time for this. And I would say, okay, well, what do you have time for? Simple question, right? They're going to say, I'm too busy. I need to make more business. I need to make more money, and I don't have time for this call. And then I say, okay, great. Let's make some time, because I understand you want to make more money. You want to get more foot traffic, but let's talk about how to make that foot traffic. And they're going to listen. They're going to sit down, and I'm going to tell them all of the things that I know, which is, here's a fact. People are online. People no longer walk the way they used to walk through stores. They are online to vet your company before they actually walk into your company. It's all about having them open up to you. But at the end of that, they'll say something like, okay, I get the value. I understand what you're saying, but you know what? I'm getting married. And so this is what I typically do. Like, I build such strong relationships with my prospect that I get to know them on a personal level, that they trust me enough to say, look, I'm getting married. The real reason why I can't think about this right now is because the priority is I'm getting married, and that's the real priority. It's not getting more business. It's because I'm getting married and everything's a mess, and I need to make sure everything is running smoothly and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I have to plan this and plan that. So what I would do is I would say, look, why don't we find you a wedding planner so that you're not so distracted away from your business and you can enjoy the process of getting married while building your business. So that's what I do. I get so close to my prospects. I get to know what really matters to them. Like, at first they'll tell you, this is what matters to me, which is, my business, I need to get more money. But that's not the truth. If you get to know them a little bit more, if you take the time to sit down and just talk to them on a human level, just as a friend, and I do say that I make friends. When I make friends, I sit down and I just try to get to know you on a human level, they'll tell you the real reason why they don't want to talk to you, or they don't want to deal with that problem that you're talking about right now. And so that's called a paradigm shift. You're trying to reprioritize what is important to them. That is kind of what this whole thing is about. That's what negotiation is about. It's reprioritizing what is the most important to the prospect. Is it getting married, or is it getting more business? They're going to say both. And then you have to tell them, you have to choose one because your time is limited, and you can't do two because a person who chases after two rabbits gets none. So let's do this effectively, and let's be methodical about our approach. And that's how I got so much people to trust me, because my job wasn't to motivate them to sign up. My job was just to provide clarity in their minds to help them move forward from where they are. And that's really what sales is about. It's providing clarity on every level, from human emotion, psychology. I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to create another video to share with you how else can we provide value. But I hope you like that video. And guys, I work really hard to provide value. If you like this, and if you learned something new, if I made you laugh, go ahead and click subscribe. And until next time, keep on closing. Peace.